Hello, Heilige Yidden. It's been a while. I've come back now after Pesach with stronger resolve, Avas Chinam, and Achtus, especially since the sphere represents the time where unfortunately 24,000 of Rabbi Akiva's Talmidim died during this time. Whatever that means on their level. But on our level, for ourselves, what we take from here is that we need chizuk in this. And Be'ez Hashem, even just learning this and wanting to make the change, the Ratzon should be able to bring us Mashiach, B'Korov Mamash. So Tiferes LeMoishe goes into detail now. What do these tzoros actually look like? When somebody goes and has a machlekes, quote unquote, l'shem shemayim, many tzoros come out of this. What do these tzoros look like? So he says like this. To understand the detriment that you suffer, basically the risk of this l'shem shemayim machlekes not being really l'shem shemayim, what's at stake? The Rabbani says as follows: no peace comes out of argument. Now, he particularly says meriva. Meriva means an actual argument. It doesn't mean a disagreement where two people can disagree on an idea. It means an actual fight. Particularly when people have this disagreement, this argument rather, under the guise of Shem Shamayim. Because most of these bad things that come are because of Machlekes Shem Shamayim. He says powerful words. It says Rov Hatzoros, the majority of bad things that befall us are from these Shem Shamayim Machlekes. It's his words. And frightening words and powerful, penetrating words on these horrible status of machlekes are said by the Rambam when he writes a letter to his son, Rabbeinu Avraham. And he says like this: Do not befoul your soul through machlekes, which consumes the entire body. Hanefesh, the soul, v'amomin, and money. I saw children who they completely lost their way. Mishpachos nisfu, families ripped apart. Ayeros nasaru, complete cities or communities rather. Ayeros means cities. Nasaru that were shaken around, meaning had to move. Kibbutzim nefradu. So special communities that end up splitting up. Chasidim nefsadu. Those that were previously pious, they lost their status. Anshe amano avdu. People that he calls anshe amano, which usually translated means people of either faith or people that were committed to help. Niklu v'nisbazu b'sivas machlekes, and those that were previously respected lose that stature because of machlekes. Neviim nivu hachom chachmu. The prophets, they told us this prophecy, and the Chazal after them were wise about this. And they told us how bad machlekes is. They told us this. And as much as they said about it, as much as they discussed the damage, they never reached its final. They never reached the full amount of it because there's so much destruction. So they just hated machlekes and they ran away from it. And whoever liked this and whoever partook in machlekes, they disassociated themselves with them, lest they might be included in this terrible, terrible thing. And with regards to bad things that befall because of the machlekes, the Kiyaka also writes in Parashat Shemos on the possuk where it says, that the Malach appeared to Moshe Rabbeinu in the burning bush. It says, and behold, this burning bush, this thorn bush, is burning with fire, and the thorn bush is not becoming consumed. Why does it say that the bush is burning with fire? What's burning? The fire is burning. The bush isn't burning, because if it was burning, it would be consumed. So it's not burning, it's just the fire that's burning. It should say the fire is burning in the sneh, not that the sneh is burning in the fire. What does the sneh mean? Sneh, and it sounds like the same word. Hasina says sinah. This prickly feeling that people have towards one another in their fights and when they have sinah. That is this thorn bush. We feel others to be thorns in our side. For Aish and the fire, he had what's this fire indicating? Fire can bring warmth, but fire can bring uncontrolled destruction as well. And unfortunately, the fire of machlokes does not bring any warmth. It brings only destruction. And he's the possuk is very clear, says the Kli Yakar, that the behavior of the Yidden who upset each other, they upset each other through machlokes and a shtech and a this and a, however they go about it, tongue-in-cheek, passive-aggressive, you name it, bothers one another just like thorns in the side. That is what keeps the fire of kolos burning. Thinking about something so painful can bring one to tears. It's this hatred, the fire of hatred, which is the fuel. This feeling of hatred is the fuel for our long kolos. If we would just stop hating each other, kolos would end. Because if we can stop hating each other, we can start loving each other. And if we can start loving each other, then we're halfway down to the kolos. Says the Kli Yakar further. Another way of understanding this. Tiferes LeMoishe is a sign that it says, why do Klal Yisrael have more pain and sorrow than any other nation? Because they have dilatorin, mashmiim koil anois b'charof v'geduf al shechvei v'ori. He uses a certain expression which I'm not quite able to translate, but he does explain it like this: like these thorns are mashmiim koil shekshayim bayam ba'esh. It seems that this verse that he was talking about was certain sounds that are made by those within Klal Yisrael, sounds of anguish when they experience this anguish, and these sounds are what create this anguish. Causes more anguish to come into the world. This feeling of anguish creates negativity. This negativity tries to find somewhere to express itself, and expresses itself in sorrow, and breeds more and more and more, breeds more of this negative reality. Just like the thorns, when a thorn bush is burning, so the thorns within, when the thorns catch fire, the thorns on the bush, they make a crackling noise. Probably because they contain some kind of liquid which makes this noise. Just like Klal Yisrael, even though we've got the fire of sorrows burning around us, we find the time to fight and argue and to pain each other and not to get on. We just keep going, keep crackling and crackling. The fire of Tzoros is burning, but we just keep crackling and we keep upsetting each other and we keep on going on and on and on and not ending it. And that's the reason why Klal Yisrael is in Golos b'tzad ha'sinah v'ha'kinush b'nei Yosef v'kol ha'mos. Our capacity to love and do good is so great. Everything is in a balance. The opposite is also true. Our capacity to hate and to hurt is equally as powerful, and unfortunately in this case destructive. And that's why we have all this trouble. Enoki. Because the fire of Machlokes, the fire of Tzuras will come out of the stone of Machlokes. Always Mavarim, Eish, Abanam Malaktim Eitzim. The fire is burning, and the children add fuel to the fire. Okay, that's why the fire of Hashem is burning. That's why it's that the burning bush is not consumed. Even though the fire of Tiferes is burning Yaakov, it's continuing. Why is it continuing? Because we haven't let go. Just let go. Let go. Allow it, as they say in modern slang. Just leave it. It's not important. It doesn't matter. It's not saying that's not easy, but in the greater scheme of things, these thorns have not stopped. Amen. Chavetz Chaim says as follows: the destruction a person brings on himself and his family through besides for the spiritual punishment, that person will feel anguish in the Olam Haba when he sees the destruction that's wrought, and how terrible he will feel, and that fire that will burn within him. There are still other ways that practically in this world the results of sinas chinam, lashon hara, etc., everything that brings along destruction, that brings, as the Gemara says in Shabbos, sinas chinam rabba b'seich beis shel adam. Because of sinas chinam, there are fights in the house of a person, and the woman miscarries. Again, people's children can die when they're young because of this terrible sinner. We see how many bad things can come to a person through this. If a person will see his little child and he'd want to give him a patch. If a person will see another man wanting to hit his son, he would fight with this man and he would hate him. How dare you try and harm my son? But through this hatred, he causes, he doesn't think that through this hatred of this other person, obviously what this person is doing is not good at all, but hating does not change anything. Hating this person for his action doesn't change anything. And even the hatred itself is going to cause harm to his son, which is the reason why he hated this person in the first place. How oxymoronical. Again, doesn't understand how far this reaches. Woes to him, woes to the soul. Doesn't even realize the power of his thoughts, power of his feelings, what they actually cause and they bring into his home. Should be to rise above and to overcome. And it's difficult and it's hard, but when we realize what's at stake, things get put into perspective. I bless us all to have a nefesh and shalva to be able to rise above.